In this video, you're going to discover 9 reasons to do a European river cruise. Hi, I'm Gary Bembridge, and this is another of my tips for travelers. Please subscribe to the channel, and then every single week you'll be alerted when there's a brand new video packed full of more travel tips and advice. One of the best reasons for taking a European river cruise is simple. It removes all the hassles and stress and strains of planning a trip around Europe. Once you've chosen your itinerary and booked, the river cruise line takes care of everything. Some will even go as far as arranging transportation and picking you up from your home and taking you to the airport and seeing you all the way through to the ship and back. But the great news is once you've booked it, pretty much everything's included. So you know the total cost of your vacation. So most cruise lines are pretty all-inclusive, including your food, your drink, excursions, and things like Wi-Fi. So you'll find largely you know the whole price of your trip once you've booked it. So once you've paid for that holiday, there's going to be very few extras. All your meals are taken care of, all your places to go and see, your excursions are taken care of, and so your whole time is just going with the flow, knowing that they have sorted out everything. Another great reason is that it really gives you a great immersion into a region. So river cruises tend to travel relatively short distances, and you call at lots of different ports of call and see lots of sites within that stretch of the region. So it really does get a chance to immerse yourself and understand that region in great detail. So you'll go and see lots of places. Also, the cruise line will tend to tailor the food and drink based on the region you're going through. All the tours will be with local guides who really live and know the region. The other great thing is you'll often find that you will stay overnight or certainly way into the evening in many of the places you call on. So you have a chance to go out and yourself explore the culture or the food or the restaurants or the nightlife. Also, river cruise ships will tend to dock right in the heart of the town and the city. So you're right there in the center of things. So you can just stroll off and feel and see all around you the culture and what's happening in a particular region. So you're right there in the heart of things. Most river cruise lines will also bring on board local speakers or local entertainers, so you'll get a sense of some of the local culture, whether it's musicians, singers, or actors. And they'll also give you port talks and give you some background and detail on the places that you're visiting. So it's really great for immersing yourself into a region. Of course, another great reason for going on a river cruise through Europe is you get to explore and see the iconic and the really important parts of Europe and its history. So the magnificent and big rivers like the Rhine, the Danube, the Seine, the Douro, the Loire, these all sail through really important parts of Europe, and lots of history has happened along the rivers. And many of the really important cities and towns are right there on the river, because this is of course the way that many cultures and countries developed and grew, and a lot of the history happened close to the rivers. So you get to see and explore the really important parts of Europe. Another consideration for taking a river cruise is it's a great, safe and secure way of traveling. So if you want to go and explore Europe, of course there's lots of different languages, lots of different cultures, lots of different things that you might need to navigate. The advantage of going on a river cruise is you have a tour manager, you have lots of guests around you, so you've always got people that you can turn to and rely on if you need help or guidance. And they are with you and to help guide and support you as you travel these foreign countries. Also really, really important is what happens is most of the river cruise lines during the season will do the same itinerary back to back. So they really know the rivers and the towns incredibly well. So if you have any issues or problems, they know how to solve all of those in each of the places you go to. Also, because you're on a river, you're always near towns and near land. So you always have the security of knowing that if you have any issues or problems or queries, you're right there near to land and support if you need it. And of course, related to that is there's no chance of getting seasick because there's no real motion on board river cruises. It really is a really safe and secure way of traveling because these cruise lines and the tour managers know these stretches of the river so well. The fact that you only have to pack and unpack once, but actually see big parts of Europe, in fact, often many different countries of Europe, is a real plus. So you basically, once you're on board and you've unpacked and settled in, you can move between countries, you can move between places without losing downtime, because actually the cruising experience and the traveling time becomes part of the vacation because you're sightseeing. Whereas if you're traveling in other ways by bus or you're traveling by plane, there's a lot of downtime because, you know, on bus you're often on motorways, planes, of course, you're caught up in airports. But here you actually are able to travel in a nice, calm, sedate, civilized way with great scenery. So actually your travel time becomes part of your vacation time. So it's a very efficient way of seeing it because you don't have a lot of downtime. So actually, if you want to see Europe, river cruising through Europe is a very efficient way of using your vacation time. Another great reason for going on a river cruise around Europe is the accommodation. So you get to have a really comfortable cabin. Now, obviously, the grade of cabin depends a lot based on whether you've gone very premium or you're going more value. But you have your beautiful cabin, which has comfortable beds, your own bathroom. So you don't have to worry about having different hotels, which may vary in quality. You can have one beautiful room that you travel for your whole time on a cruise. And the accommodation on board river cruise ships, although they're relatively small because of the size of ships, they are very comfortable. Even on the value lines, you're going to find a great, comfortable room that's going to travel with you the whole way through your European experience. Food is another really important reason for taking a European river cruise. You can have 5-star dining no matter which cruise line you go on. Many of them have relationships with either Michelin or other famous celebrity chefs. Food is a really important part of river cruising, and they will often then link the food to the region you're traveling through. But you're guaranteed to have great food, so you don't have to worry about finding restaurants and navigating all of that problem. You're going to have 3 meals a day. Often you're also going to have afternoon tea, and you're going to have multiple courses with great local wines and great food. And because the way that river cruises work, and they don't have lots of storage, they also pick up fresh ingredients as they constantly travel. So you're always going to have great, fresh, local produce, often bought from local markets and then served that night. But great dining is really important. So through a European river cruise, you're guaranteed to have great dining without having to worry about finding a great restaurant. Another great reason for doing a European river cruise is, unlike if you're going ocean cruising where you can have really great big ships, it's quite an intimate experience. Because of the nature of the rivers, the ships are limited in size and width. So you normally have around about 100 to 120 passengers at most on board your ship. So it's a pretty intimate experience, and it's very easy to get to know people. Also, you like to have quite an adult experience. Now, some cruise lines only will have adults. So for example, Viking is adults only. Other cruise lines are starting to try and attract more families, and that tends to be more in the key summer vacation months. But you're likely to have a very adult experience. So if you're looking for a very adult vacation, you could find that on board a European river cruise boat. So you can actually have a small, intimate adult experience. River cruising in Europe is not a big family activity at this point in time. So whichever cruise you go on, you're likely to find it a very adult experience. One of the great things about going on a European river cruise, and I think one of the really important reasons for choosing to see Europe on a European river cruise, is it's so easy and so much less stressful than arranging a land-based trip. So you're going to cover a lot of territory, you're going to see lots of places, and you can do it without any of the hassle and strain and stress of a land-based trip. If you're on a land-based trip, you have to constantly worry about how you're going to move between places. You're going to have to worry about the language, making sure that you find great places to eat. On a European river cruise, that's all sorted. You get on board the ship, they have sorted out the right things to see. They've sorted out the fact you can have Wi-Fi. You don't have to worry about having currency. You don't have to worry about language. You're just going to have a comfortable room and great food. Hopefully you found that helpful, and that's given you 9 good reasons why you should do a European river cruise. It's a great experience, and I strongly recommend that you do it. If you enjoyed this video, I have many more other videos about river cruising in Europe, which I'd love you to take a look at, because you'll find many more ideas and tips and inspiration to help you have a great time traveling and river cruising.